The night air was filled with the aroma of roasted yams and spiced palm wine as the village of Okagbe celebrated the festival of harvest. It was a lively scene, with laughter ringing out under the stars, the traditional drums pounding rhythmically as women in vibrant wrappers and beads danced in graceful circles, their full, rounded figures swaying in perfect harmony with the beat. In Okagbe, beauty was not measured by facial features alone. It was a woman's curves, the fullness of her hips, and the roundness of her body that held honor and pride. For generations, Okagbe women had all been blessed with these traits, and they carried themselves with a confidence and elegance that made them shine, adorned in colorful African fabrics that hugged their voluptuous forms. But that year, there was a peculiar stir in the village. When the town's herbal woman, Mama Osato, brought a newborn baby girl into the world, everyone was stunned. Unlike the typical robust babies of Okagbe, this baby was tiny, delicate, and almost frail-looking. She had her mother's deep, almond-shaped eyes and an infectious little smile, but her frame was so small and slender that the women of the village couldn't understand it. The baby was named Esosa, meaning God's gift, but to the people she seemed more like an anomaly than a blessing. The women began whispering. They saw Esosa as different, strange even. While her mother, Itohan, tried to ignore the hurtful murmurs, it was impossible to shield her daughter from them entirely. Some women suggested that Esosa was an omen, a child unlike any other in Okagbe, born to disrupt the norms. Even as Mama Osato, the wise herbal woman, reassured the villagers that Esosa was perfectly healthy, the whispers continued. They spread from house to house, growing with each retelling. As Esosa grew older, her differences became even more apparent. While the other village girls blossomed with round hips and thick thighs that filled their traditional skirts, Esosa remained slender, petite, and wiry. But no matter what she wore, she couldn't capture the same elegance that the other women so effortlessly displayed. Her clothes hung loose, and her attempts to adopt the proud, graceful strides of the Okagbe women felt hollow. Every girl in the village, from friends she had known since childhood to newcomers, kept their distance, convinced that her slender frame was a sign of a curse or a punishment from the gods. Despite the taunts and isolation, Esosa grew into a spirited and curious young woman. She would often wander to the riverside, sitting by the water's edge, questioning the gods about her fate. She watched the other girls with a mixture of awe and sadness, wishing she could share in their confidence. Determined to change her fate, Esosa began eating everything she could get her hands on, from spicy jollof rice to rich agusi soup and fried plantains, hoping to gain the weight she thought would earn her a place among her people. Yet, no matter how much she ate, her body remained stubbornly slender. Her heart sank with every attempt, her dreams weighed down by the unyielding reality of her body. One warm afternoon, a stranger arrived in Okagbe. Tall and lean with an air of sophistication, he introduced himself as Aaron, a traveler from the city. The villagers welcomed him, fascinated by his tales of skyscrapers and bustling marketplaces. Aaron was an adventurer and, as fate would have it, a talent scout for a prestigious modeling agency in the city. He roamed different villages, capturing beauty in its rawest forms, but he had never seen a place like Okagbe, where every woman was so robustly built. He found the people of Okagbe intriguing, but none more so than the slender young woman sitting by herself at the edge of the village. Aaron's gaze fell on Esosa, and he was immediately captivated by her delicate beauty, a stark contrast to the other women. Her slender frame, which the villagers shunned, was to him a unique charm. He saw in Esosa the potential to break conventions, to bring something different to the world. Intrigued, he approached her, his kind smile easing her initial hesitation They spent the afternoon talking, Isosa sharing her struggles, her desire to fit in, and her heartache at being labelled an outcast. Aaron listened attentively, and when she finished, he made her an offer that left her speechless. "Isosa," he began, his voice gentle but firm, "you don't have to change who you are to be beautiful. There's a world beyond Okagbe where your uniqueness would be celebrated. Come with me to the city. I think you could become a model." Isosa's heart skipped. She had heard of modelling, but had only a faint idea of what it truly entailed. To her, it sounded like a distant dream, a world meant for others, not for her. But Aaron's words stirred something deep within her, an ember of hope that she had buried long ago. She hesitated, knowing her mother would worry, but the prospect of finally being appreciated for who she was overpowered her doubts. With her mother's reluctant blessing, Isosa left the village with Aaron and arrived in the bustling city, a place that overwhelmed her senses with its towering buildings, honking cars, and seas of people. Aaron introduced her to the world of modelling with patience and kindness. At first, she struggled, unsure of how to pose, how to walk in high heels, and how to project confidence. Yet, Aaron was a skilled mentor, and he taught her everything from her posture to her gaze to her smile. Under his guidance, Isosa transformed, her once hesitant steps becoming strides of pride, her shy glances replaced with a gaze that held grace and confidence. She quickly became a sensation in Aaron's agency. Despite her successes, she faced resistance from some of her peers who doubted her ability to thrive in an industry dominated by conventional beauty standards. Two models in particular sneered at her, casting hurtful remarks whenever they had the chance. "She doesn't belong here," one would mutter, but Isosa remained unbroken. Each hurtful comment only fueled her resolve to succeed. She kept training, honing her skills, and embracing her unique beauty. Then one day, during a prestigious fashion audition, Isosa caught the eye of Richard Hayes, a celebrated international fashion icon who was scouting for fresh faces. Hayes saw in Isosa something extraordinary, a beauty that defied convention. He approached her after the audition, his admiration evident as he spoke of her elegance, her quiet strength, and the resilience she wore like a crown. Richard offered Isosa an opportunity she could scarcely believe, to travel abroad and work with some of the world's most renowned modelling agencies. Nervously, she accepted, and soon she was swept into a whirlwind of photo shoots, runway shows, and magazine covers. Her story of being the slender beauty from the village of Okagbe spread far and wide, captivating audiences who marvelled at her journey from outcast to international star. Her face graced the covers of fashion magazines, her story inspiring countless others who felt they didn't fit society's mould of beauty. Back in Okagbe, her name became a source of awe and pride. The villagers, who had once mocked her, now spoke of Isosa with reverence, unable to believe that the slender girl they had shunned was now a global icon. Her mother Itohan would sit by the fireside, sharing tales of Isosa's adventures with pride. The same villagers who once scoffed now gathering around to listen, marvelling at her transformation. Years passed, and one day a sleek car rolled into Okagbe. The children gathered around, whispering and pointing, while the older villagers exchanged curious glances. As the car door opened, out stepped Isosa, radiant and confident. She walked into the village square, her presence commanding attention, her beauty breathtaking. The villagers gathered around her, awestruck and humbled. Isosa smiled at them, her eyes warm and kind, holding no resentment for the past. She greeted them with the respect and humility of the girl who once walked their paths, even though she was now celebrated worldwide. In the days that followed, Esosa shared her story with the younger girls, encouraging them to embrace their uniqueness, to see beauty as something beyond what the village had traditionally revered. Her words planted seeds of confidence in the hearts of many, and slowly the rigid standards of Okagbe began to shift. No longer did the village measure beauty solely by size or curves. They had come to realize that true beauty lay in self-acceptance and inner strength. Esosa's journey transformed not only her own life, but also the lives of those around her. She returned to the city after her visit, carrying with her the love and pride of Okagbe, knowing that she had left behind a legacy that would inspire generations to come. Thank you so much for being a part of this incredible story. We hope it inspired and entertained you. If you enjoyed this tale, be sure to check out other stories on our channel that will uplift and inspire you. Don't forget to like this story, share it with your friends and family all over the world, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd also love to know where you're watching from, so leave a comment with your location, and we will give you a shout out in our next video. Your support means the world to us. See you in the next story.